Hey, what's up? I'm Mooka Chanel, and you're tuned into the Shine Season podcast. On this episode, it's just me, myself, and I. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Hey, y'all, what's up? How y'all doing? How y'all living? How y'all feeling? I'm feeling great. Honestly, guys, I feel like I'm a little late. I don't know if you really be watching and you caught on, like, this episode is a little off schedule, you know? But I'm here, okay? I'm here. I'm doing the best I can with what I got, okay? And I'm giving y'all me, you know? I'm giving y'all you and I, because today we don't have a guest. We're just talking. We're chatting. We're having conversation. We're here together with one another, and we could do that, right? Because this is how it started, you know? But don't think about it too hard, you know? We just here vibing together. It's like we know each other, y'all. Like, we're friends. And if you're new here, we're friends now. You're tuned in, okay? So, yeah, but this past week has just been so busy, honestly. I just been doing so much moving and grooving. And it just feels good to be back in my seat, you know, back in Shine Season land, you know, where I get to talk to y'all and tell y'all how I'm feeling, how I'm living, y'all. And honestly, something that I'm really trying to master just in my life, because I feel like it's something that, like, came up for me and is constantly coming up. This whole concept of, like, time, guys. Because I hate to say it sometimes, and sometimes I hate to admit it, but I am the late friend. I be late. I be late to everything. I be late to work. I definitely be late to the job. Like, and that's where I really been feeling it, because I feel like this past week I've been working so hard in the land of corporate America that it's put in my face some of the things that, like, I be lacking on sometimes. And that, or I guess how you want to say it, like, because am I really lacking, or is it just the white man on my back? Who want to be there at a certain time? Like, which one is it? But, you know, with that, it's this whole thing, you know, sometimes, like, y'all know when you be on a job interview, you're going to be like, how many times is it acceptable to be late? And everybody knows you're supposed to say never. But in reality, like, I'm going to be late. Like, late things are going to happen. But for me, that's something that's really been coming up this week, y'all. I've been, like, late a lot. And sometimes I'll be feeling like, okay, maybe I need to work on this. But on the flip side, it's like, it's just time. Like, and time be going so fast or slow, depending on how you look at it. And I'm trying to get better at it. You know, like, if you're the late friend, like, let me know, like, how you feel. Like, do you ever have, like, late friend guilt? Because it's like, why can I never be on time? You know, because sometimes people make you feel like, why are you not on time? But it's funny. I had seen this Steve Harvey clip. Steve Harvey. Shout out to Steve. Shout out to Family Feud. Okay. But I had seen this clip, and Steve Harvey was talking, and he was saying that people who are usually late, like the late people, like they tend to be more successful in life. So, you know, I'm just going to accept the fact that, like, you know, I'm not late. I'm right on time. I'm arriving when I need to get there. Because that's kind of like when we talk about, like, late bloomers. Like, if you don't do things on the same, like, pattern of, like, of what society tells you, sometimes you feel like, oh my God, I'm behind, or I'm not where I'm supposed to be. But in reality, it's like, you're just following your own timeline. You know, that looks different for everyone. But I know that I have a certain approach just to life that is more so, like, lax and free and more so, like, fluid than what sometimes life tries to tell us and make us feel sometimes. You know, sometimes they try to make it feel like it's so, like, either you're this or you're that, when it's like, I'm so much more than all this shit. But that's me, like, speaking from just the week that I've had, y'all, because the job be jobbing. And sometimes I'll be wondering, like, should I really talk about working sometimes in my creative spaces? But it's like, yes, I should, because it's a part of who I am. And I got a job, y'all. I'm a creative with a job, and the job be getting on my damn nerves. But that's really where it stems for me of, like, when I'm talking about with time. Because that's the only space where I guess I feel, like, guilty. Because it's like, it's technically your job, so you should be on time, I guess. But it's also like, maybe it's highlighting that, like, I don't need to do the 9 to 5 forever. You know, like, we just need to make this work, y'all, so I can quit the job, because the job be doing a lot. But we're grateful to have that, you know, because I guess you need it in this society, you know. And I do like the structure that, like, I guess a 9 to 5 gives you sometimes, like, you know, this whole concept of like having a routine and like showing up daily and things of that nature. And then also ultimately we're all there for the fucking check. Like at the end of the day, in this world, we're here to make money, and that's a place where I can make the money. So I don't want to dwell on that too much, but yeah, sometimes I just be feeling, I guess, the weight of what it feels like to be in my 20s. Like that's another thing that I've been feeling lately a lot. Like navigating the 20s has been such an interesting experience. Like I'm 25 now, and I was just thinking like, oh my God, I'm about to be 26 in September. And again, going back to time, like it's just going by so fast. And 25 has been such a freaking experience for me. Like, I don't know, like when I was growing up, and I guess this is a common thing amongst a lot of people, because when I talk to friends and family members alike, like we all kind of say the same thing. I feel like when I picture 25, I picture like a certain life for myself. And then I got here and it's like, girl, sit your ass down and let me show you where it really is about to go down. Like this whole idea that you think it's like life be freaking lifing. It be freaking doing the thing. But I've really been feeling that too, y'all. Like just the concept of just like being in your 20s, and like so much of your 20s is like figuring out adulthood at this time, like for the first time. Like everything, I feel like everything be happening all at once constantly, but like for the first time while it's also happening, if that makes sense. You know, like it'd be like, okay, I'm learning this new thing, and then this is happening, this is happening, and it's like all where I'm still so young. Like I'm telling y'all, I've been feeling it. I've been feeling the time in my life, like for real. But I guess that's what we're here for, you know? Like, I guess we have to learn through experiences and through just like moving and grooving with like the spaces that we have, you know? And I've been trying to show myself a lot of grace, you know, because I know that like I have the tendency to like work a lot. You know, like it'd be like, okay, like I'd be in grind mode, because I do view my 20s as a time where I'm like setting the foundation for myself. So I try, you know, to show up for myself and show up in a way where like future me would be proud, you know, but it's like you're doing all this while also balancing like the fuck shit of life. Like while all the other shit is happening, like you're still trying to be who you are. But like I said, you have things like jobs, you have things like family, relationships, friends, hobbies, like it's all at once, and we're all just trying to navigate. But I've been trying to tell myself too, like every day looks different, you know, like every day is not going to be the same, but to even have the day is truly a blessing, you know, like it's truly a blessing to be here. And I try to remain grounded in that and remain focused on that, because sometimes being in your 20s, it could like feel like, oh my God. But that's why I also like having like company and friends and a tribe of people of like different walks of life, different age ranges, because even when I talk to like my friends in their 30s and their 40s, it's like you get different perspectives, you know, like you get different advice. Like people, I think the common theme though, like everyone knows that the 20s are fucking ghetto. Like I think everybody is like aligned with that. If you've had a perfect 20s, you're a unicorn. But like honestly, it's been an experience. And I'm like, damn, I'm at the halfway mark, because it's going by so fast. Like 25, about to be 26, then to be 30. Like it's so much, y'all. But I'm excited. I can't wait to turn 30. I mean, I can't wait, but I can't wait because like that's gonna be my special year, y'all, because I was born on the 30th. So like 30 has to eat down. I hope I can watch this back and be proud of what I said, because y'all heard what I said about 25 when I was like saying it was going to be all this great, and then 25 is here. But 25 is good. Let me give myself credit. Like I am doing pretty well for myself, you know, and I need to affirm that. Sometimes it'd be hard to do that because, you know, when you go through life, sometimes it's like you don't want to jinx nothing. But I guess I'm trying to get better at sitting in like my moment, like sitting in the present of like, if 25 is good for you, it's okay to claim that. And if it gets hard sometime, it's okay to claim that too. But like I was saying, can't wait to turn 30, because I just feel like it's going to be dope. It's going to be special because I'm going to be 30 on the fucking 30th, bitch. Like, that's tight. Like, my party has to go up. Like, it has to be a whole thing. Y'all know I love a party. Y'all know I love a party. I love an event. Yeah. Speaking of events, I just threw an event, y'all. 1K4L. No, we had an 1K4. Can I talk? Like, see, when you don't have a guest, you just be going so fast. And you just be in the moment. It's like, like I just got so much to get out. I feel like I ain't talked to y'all. I feel like we ain't sat down and like had a moment yet in a little minute, because it's been, you know, company, which is good, but like, you know, we're in this together. But I threw an event, 1K4L and Firebird. We had a marketplace. It was super dope. It was a variety of vendors, drinks, music, merch, food. It was a time. It was a time. I definitely had a time. Shout out to everybody who was a part of that event. But even that, it's like planning events and like planning spaces and like setting up for the things to come is such an experience. And it'd be so much work, y'all. Again, that's like I was saying. It'd be work. Like, it takes hard work to pull things off. But I was definitely proud of that event, because it's like, when you take an amount of time and like ideas that are presented and you're collaborating, it makes it fun to like pull things off. So like, shout out to everybody that was a part of that, because it was just a special community event and I had fun. I had so much fun. Shout out to Kayla Cocktails. Like, I had a time. I had a time. Okay, you just had to be there. I can't even really like get too much into it, because should've came. But speaking of time, because that's just what it's all about. We gotta name this episode like something with time. Funny how time flies. How y'all think that sound? Production looking at me like, girl. Anyways, whatever. Okay. No, but seriously, y'all, I've been binge watching some shows. You know, I've had some time to do that too. Y'all know I love a good hood jam. I love a good show. I love a good vibe. I love a good moment. But also too, it'd be hard for me to like sit down and watch stuff. I'm not gonna lie, because I do be so busy sometimes where it's like, do I really have time for that? And sometimes I do. And what I've been watching, I have a whole list. Like, I'm finna tell y'all what I've been watching, because it's important for us to talk about it, because I feel like I'm gonna put y'all on. Or maybe if you watch the show, we can, you know, be here. We can see each other. But I've definitely been watching Survival of the Thickest. Look at me. Survival of the Thickest on Netflix. That is a really good show. It's basically, I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm gonna like give you a little glimpse into what I've been, you know, enjoying. It's basically a show about a woman who is transitioning out of some shit, you know, of life. As we know, shit be shitting. And she's transitioning out of that, and it shows her like in that moment, and then it just shows like her coming out of that, and then like coming more into like sense of self and like community, and also like her career, which is like really cool to see. And I like that, like, it's a thick girl, like the main character, like she's giving you like, you know, personality. She's giving you layers. Like, she's giving you, you know, just a variety. You know, it is more shit out there, you know, that doesn't always get seen on the front screen. So like, it's cool to see that. And then I just love like the dynamics of how they like painted relationships on that show. Like, I really love the friendship. I love the friendship. They got Tasha from Why Did I Get Married on there playing a homegirl. I don't know her real name. We're gonna have to link it. I'm bad with names, y'all, but I'm good with faces. I'm that person. Like, I don't be knowing people's names, but I'll know a face. You know, I'll be like, oh, that's, you know, that's our friend. But, yeah, they have her on there playing a homegirl. And then I like the dynamic that they show of like, her and her male friend. She has like a male best friend, which is like really cool to see on camera. And it's just a good show. So definitely Survival of the Thickest. 10s on the board. And then, okay, y'all, no, we really got to get into this. Because it's like, it shook me up a little bit. Like, I just want y'all to know that like, I am a visual person, and everybody know that I'm a little scary. Like, I don't watch scary movies. Like, I don't play with demons. I've been saying that since a kid. Like, that's not really my vibe. You know, like, I know some people like horror and shit and like, you know, psycho thrillers, but like, that's not really my bag. But I've seen everybody, I kind of started falling into FOMO. Like, I've seen everybody talking about this show and talking about how good it is and you know. And it was kind of giving me get up vibes. No, Get Out. What is it? Get Up or Get Out? Get Out. Yeah. It was giving me Get Out vibes. And even when I watch Get Out, like that movie kind of like, like I said, I'm visual. So stuff be replaying back in my head. And I remember even when I watched Get Out, y'all remember that scene when the lady, was like, no. Like at the scene, like that scene haunts me. Like, I don't like, I don't like movies like that because it's like, I like, now when I think Get Out, I think of that lady, that scene. Like, I don't, like, y'all know, them weird movies be doing weird shit, and that shit be sticking with me. So I really was not trying to watch this, but I'm like, okay, I gotta kind of watch it because one of my classmates from school, shout out to Ricky, like, he had posted about how he worked on, like, post-production for us. So I'm like, okay, now I'm intrigued. Like, let me see what it's hitting for. So I watched the movie last night, y'all, and honestly, I didn't even tell y'all what movie. Look, I'm going so fast. The movie, the movie that I saw was They Cloned Tyrone. Okay, y'all, that movie, that movie right there, it kept me up. Like, it kept me up. Like, I literally seen it last night. So, like, I feel like that movie kind of compromised my sleep a little bit because, like, that movie, like, when I watch shit like that, it makes me, like, think. Like, it makes me sit and think and, like, overanalyze. Like, it's already visually triggering me, but then it's also making me think, like, oh my God, like, what does this movie mean? And, like, what were they doing on this part? And, like, you know, like, are they trying to reveal? Because it's like, y'all know, like, that conspiracy shit, it be everywhere, you know? And sometimes it's like, okay, should I think about this at all? Like, should I consider anything to be true? Or should I just, you know, like, you know? But honestly, though, like, now that I have went throughout my day, because I'm a grown woman now. Like, I can't watch stuff and maneuver through the world, you know, but like in the moment, it'd be like, fuck with me a little bit. But, you know, now that I'm away from the movie and like took a step back and like digested it and really am thinking about like what I saw on screen, I think that it was like pretty good. Like, as far as like cinematically speaking, like it definitely had a flow to it where it was like, okay, I can watch this and like take something from it. Like, although it did have its little moments where it was like, ooh, you know, like clench your pearls and shit. But as far as like the total message from it, I really fucked with it. Cause it was like, y'all know, well, at least for me, I can't speak for everybody, but sometimes those kind of movies kind of come off as like gimmicky. Like they're trying to like inflict fear onto you, and like this didn't necessarily feel like that. It did have elements to that, you know, because that is a genre of filmmaking, but it didn't really feel like, oh my God, they're really out here cloning people. They're really, because even though I don't want to spoil it, but nobody in the project, in the movie, was called Tyrone. So like it was just kind of like a play on like the fuck shit sometimes that we be believing. And I had seen someone, I don't know, I can't think of their ad right now, but I had seen a tweet and they were basically saying like, this movie isn't like, because people, we gotta peel back the layers, y'all, because y'all know, okay, so basically in the movie, I don't know all the actors and actresses, because like I told you, I don't know names, but I know faces. But Jamie Foxx is in that movie, and y'all know, like, I'm so glad that Jamie Foxx is doing well, but y'all know, like, he was sick for a period of time. And y'all know sometimes when you go on the conspiracy side of the internet, people like to say things that are like, that ain't really him. That ain't Jamie. That's a clone. I ain't that man. The whole time, this man has been sick. This man has been sick. Y'all mean to tell me you ain't never had a sick moment in your life, and maybe, you know, you got a little lighter, you start looking a little skinnier, you know, like, come on, like, let's really talk about it. But people are really like, that ain't really that nigga, that's some clone. And it's like, as a society, we have so far to go. Sometimes I wonder about us, but I guess that's the duality of the brain, because shit be happening. But Jamie is in the movie, and, you know, people were saying that he ain't really sick and like that ain't really Jamie, but it really was him. And it was cool to like even see, like, it was just a cool storyline, and it wasn't too much. But the person on the internet, I don't even know where I'm all over the place, y'all, a little bit. But the person on the internet, they were basically saying that like we are the clones, like the choices that we make every day like clone us. I don't know, y'all, watch the shit. Honestly, y'all, that's what I'm saying. Like, shit like that, it just be like, the conversations go all over the place. Like, that's why it's like, I like to watch happy shit. But, like, I love a good, you know, a little love story, a little comedy, a little feel good. Like, y'all, honestly, I've been watching cartoons a lot. Like, a lot of the cartoons that I really fuck with, like, I really been watching them. I've been binge watching Totally Spies. Like, that's one of my shows. It's one of my cartoons that I grew up watching, and I forgot about it. I forgot about Totally Spies, but I feel like it was reintroduced to me, and I'm so appreciative of that, because it's like, that is really a show that I really fucked with. But y'all see, like, my innocence and what I like to consume, like all that thriller shit and Get Out and Get In. Like, it's too much. Like, I like pretty shit. I like to laugh, look cute, and be happy. But if you like genres like that, definitely get into They Clone Tyrone, because it is good. Like, I can walk away saying, like, you know what, I do fuck with that, but, you know, I did it. You know, I paid my dues, you know? And then speaking of that, another thing that I've really been enjoying, coming off of like this whole conversation of like filmmaking and things like that, and also like experimenting with different genres, different directors, different things, I binge watched this show. Shout out to Chan. I binge watched this fucking show because it was recommended from someone that I trust and think that like their opinion matters when it comes to this shit. So, okay, let me tap in. I tapped in to Project Greenlight, and I really am glad that I watched that because I have so many thoughts. It's basically a show. It's like a reality TV show. It's like a contestant version of reality where like people are competing. Filmmakers around the world are competing for an opportunity to be a director on a film. And the show is taking you through this whole process of like what directors have to do in terms of like filmmaking and when they're making movies and things of that nature. So like they pick one director, and then that director basically makes a show. And I thought the show was really, really, really good. I think it was good though, because it showed just the reality of like filmmaking. And even for me, like it took me back, like watching that show took me back to a place of like being a film student. Like it's such an interesting opportunity to be able to like enter that space, because when you just consume a movie, when you just consume content, like you're not thinking about all that goes into making this movie. You're just like, oh, such and such in a movie now. They gave such and such a show. Let's watch it. You're not thinking about the crew, the casting, the budget, the editing, the lighting, like all the different things. So I love that the show gave opportunity and space for that. And I love that, you know, they were choosing independent female filmmakers, you know, giving them the opportunity to make something great. So that part I do enjoy. I love the whole show, honestly. Like I have nothing bad essentially to say about it. There were like notes that I could make from like a geeking out and nerding out filmmaking perspective, but I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed it. So if you have time, definitely check out Project Greenlight because it's good. And yeah, and then y'all, we also have to get into this because y'all know, y'all know, and if you don't know now, you know, I am a Real Housewives of Atlanta girl. Okay, like that show damn near birthed me. You know, I'm talking season 1. I don't want to say so much as now, no shade, no tea, but I mean, come on. Like, well, even who I'm about to reference, like, you will understand why I'm saying the things that I'm saying. But I watched Carlos King's podcast with Nene Leakes. I really loved that fucking episode. Like, it was so good. Like, they put it all on the floor. Nene was looking good and she got into everything. Like she got into everything, which I really enjoyed, because you guys know, like when you're in the limelight, and I don't know because I'm not necessarily like in the limelight, but I'm saying from the terms of like when everybody has kind of like access to your life and like the things that are happening in your day-to-day life, I would imagine that can like get overwhelming. So she like candidly got into that on camera, which I really love. And it just reminded me of why we love Nene, because she shows up as herself, you know, like she's not pretending to be something that she's not. Like she's Nene. You're either gonna take it or love it, but she's gonna be real. She's gonna give you that rawness, which I really enjoy. Like she talked about her son on there and like this, you know, the whole situation that's going on with her son and the drugs and the arrests and things like that nature. And she really got into the conversation of drug abuse and addiction and like what that feels like as a mother. It was really good. She got into the whole, you know, experience of what it feels like to be grieving Greg. Like it was just a real good episode, and I'm just glad I got into it. And then she also popped her shit about how, you know, she is the founding mother of Real Housewives franchise. Like she built that shit brick by brick. Like let's talk about it. Like she definitely became a reality TV star at a time where there wasn't much representation of that. Like I remember watching that show as a kid with my mom. Like my mom would record that show on like the DVR. And we will watch that show. And for me, those are some of the first memories that I have of like seeing Black people on film, seeing Black people on screen, being a subject. These were successful Black families, you know, like they were genuinely housewives. Like for me, that was my first introduction of like seeing a Black woman be a housewife. Like, because I'm coming from a single parent household. So like, I didn't necessarily always have images of like, women actually do this. Like their husbands work and they just have fun and they pop their shit and they go to the brunch and they go have leisure time with other women who are alike. And it was just like, for me, it was like, oh my God, this is cool. Like I always used to joke, like if I had the opportunity, cause y'all know I went to school in Atlanta. And if I really, you know, settled down there and married a man, like I definitely would want to be casted for Real Housewives. Y'all, my y'all remember the episode from CAU? Was y'all from Clark? Like that episode. That episode is like, come on. Like if I ever had the opportunity to be on there, I would give y'all time. But definitely, I just respect NeNe Leakes so much. And it was cool to just see her, like, because I think that some personalities are really meant to be in front of the camera, you know? So just to see NeNe Leakes doing her thing, looking good, just being so full of life, I just loved it. And then, like, I love to see Black women, because, you know, on this show, I'm going to keep it Black at all times. You know, I'm going to speak from that experience of being a Black woman, especially. And for me, it's just, like, so refreshing to have like examples of like women who could just do what the fuck they want, you know, and also like grow into that. Like she's been sharing her life for a cool little minute, but she's also been living some life too. You know, like I don't think she's in her 50s. I don't know, but not that age too much matters, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like she's lived a layered life. Like she talked about so many things. She talked about, dating after, Greg. That was interesting to hear her talk about. One thing that kind of stuck with me when she was talking about it, I thought this was kind of like funny banter, but she was saying like in a relationship, she doesn't think that there should be two stars. Like there shouldn't be two stars in a relationship because, you know, like no, she said it should only be one star of the house. And I thought that was funny because she was talking about like her experience of like dating, you know, being married to Greg all that time, the type of man that Greg was, and then also like transitioning out of that and then going into dating and like dating the new guy and like him being embracing of the limelight and of, you know, just certain lifestyle dynamics where like he was more open to versus like the other. And like, I just thought that was interesting than what she said. Cause like, I never heard nobody say that. I never heard anyone say there should only be one star in the house. Cause it kind of like made me think like, what do you mean by that? like Drewski. Oh my God, y'all, speaking of Drewski, I also saw Drewski. I got an opportunity to go to the coulda, woulda, shoulda been tour. Coulda been records. Y'all, I'm all over the place. But y'all know me. Y'all know I be fucking saying anything. Like, that just comes out of my mouth. That's why you love it here. Could have been records. It was cool. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did have fun. I did laugh. I did enjoy myself. But I felt like, and I don't want to say it's because it's gonna hurt my feelings, because I actually love Drewski. Like, I actually do. But I feel like I'm not, what I'm saying is not even against Drewski, because I fuck with Drewski. Shout out to Drewski. But I felt like the show kind of ended abruptly. Like, it was like we was having so much fun, and then it just ended. And I was like, dang, like, we going out like that? Like, cause I don't know, at our show, cause you know, every city is different, but at our show, it kind of took like interesting turns. At one point, we had different personalities on the stage, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And we didn't necessarily, I don't feel like we necessarily ended with Drewski. Like, he kind of did like some, like, I checked in with the people, like, Blueface Baby Mama. Basically, y'all, at one point, Blueface Baby Mama was on the stage. That lets you know how things got. Like, it was like, I was feeling Drewski, and then now I'm looking at Blueface. And then we have YG. Like, it was just, you know, y'all know, it kind of got a little, you know, everything just was like, okay, we're taking it there. Okay. Which was cool, you know, but I don't know. I just kind of wish that we ended on like I don't know, like Drewski just make us laugh. He did make us laugh though. I enjoyed myself. I have fun. And I love Drewski. It's just, I wanted more, but I guess that's why it was the Could Have Been tour, because it could have been more, but it just wasn't. So yo, but yeah. So now we got to get into it, y'all. We got to get into the fresh off the press, what's happening in these streets. Okay. And we finna get into these strikes that are happening. Okay. So basically, and I brought this up a few episodes ago when J-Mac was here. We were talking about, how the Writers Guild went on strike. So, you know, the Writers Guild of America, WGA. They went on strike, and they've been on strike since May. Y'all remember we talked about that. Now, the SGA is on strike, and that is the Actors Union. That is SAG, right? Right. Because, you know, all these acronyms, y'all, it gets a little... But they are both on strike, and this is historical, y'all, because they haven't been on strike at the same time like this since 1960. So this is like a big deal. And honestly, this is a topic that we have to get into just because it's like, these are things that I'm passionate about. And we have to like, you know, just grab it by the head and really have these conversations because they are important. They are on strike right now, you guys. And lots of people are on strike. You know, like this is a time to, to revolt. This is a time to rally the troops because it be a lot of fuck shit going on. Y'all know, like, life is so freaking hard sometimes. Like this inflation, like all of this shit. Like, honestly, I be ranting daily about how expensive it is just to live. Like, every day costs so much fucking money. And I feel like that's part of the reason why I be feeling the weight of, like, being in my 20s. Like, damn, all this shit is so fucking expensive by the time I decided to be an adult. Like, this shit was not as fucking expensive for y'all. Y'all know it. Y'all know this shit was not as high. I feel like when I got the chance to be an adult, it's like all this shit wouldn't be like this now. Like that should be making me fucking hot. It should be making me mad. It be making me fucking mad. I'd be having to take breathers when I think about it because it'll take me there. But as we know, we are all feeling what it feels like to be existing right now. Like it is a lot. Financially, it's fucking crazy. Like, y'all know, it was one point. Y'all remember the time when eggs was like $20? Like shit be high. She be high as fuck. Like, we all are feeling it. But basically, these creative professionals who are a part of these unions, these are people who have taken a period of time out of their lives to devote to something that they, number one, feel fulfilled in, gifted in, but also have made a profession out of. You know, these writers and these actors, these shows that we consume every day, these little things, like we don't even think it's scripted. We don't even think somebody wrote that. We didn't even think that that was someone's idea. These people are striking for a livable wage. Right now, basically they're striking for a livable wage and also healthcare. Like just basic principles of life. Right now, 80% of the union doesn't make $26,000 a year. That's like, they need to basically make $26,000 a year annually to receive health care. Now y'all do the math. I just told you eggs is $100. If I'm not making at least $26,000 a year, that means that like I am struggling. So that's why these people are striking. I'm talking people who are making award-winning shows, actors, and you know, they may not be the lead. And I think sometimes too, when we talk about, you know, like unions, I think we focus so much on like the celebrity of it, the fame of it, where it's like, they should be able to make money. They should be able to have this. They should be able to support themselves, when it's like, in actuality, everything ain't as popping as it looks. You know, everything is not. First of all, a lot of this shit be a fucking illusion. Like even these productions that we are making and things of that nature, like we are creating a world. That is what's so special about creativity. That's why I think it gets so frustrating to have these conversations when we, you know, bring up factors of artificial intelligence taking over and like going into the lanes of creativity, because it's like you have to like produce that shit out of you. Like it's literally a birthing process to making art. So it's like that's already something that takes an existence to pursue. And it's like, with that, if everyone is enjoying this shit anyway, pay these people, period, because we all need to eat, everybody. And I do be feeling like it should not take having to work 50,000 jobs to fucking exist. Like we really, if in a perfect world, if I can make this shit up myself, we would all be thriving, living it. And maybe not all of us, because some of y'all deserve to be where y'all at, honestly, because everybody is not a good person. Those people need to be dealt with. But the people who are really trying to be their best and show up, and even, honestly, I take that back. Even people who are not the greatest, I think that they deserve to have life and to live it abundantly and what looks appropriate for them. I'm going to tell you that I'm not an evil girl. I think everybody deserves quality of life. But what I'm saying is, pay them damn people because they fucking deserve it. And they definitely deserve healthcare. Like all these things, you know, and it's just so interesting to have these conversations for real because like on the, I guess like nerdy side of the conversation, because you guys know, like I am a media girl and like when you peel back the layers, we're really just seeing the transition from like linear to digital. And I guess in like simpler terms, cable TV to streaming. Like, there was a point in time where like residual checks from cable TV could allow people to stay afloat and it wouldn't be so like challenging to exist. But now that we're in the digital age, it's like these people ain't making no real money off of basically using the same model and the same practice from one product to the next. Like basically like we're changing the product, but we're not changing the procedures to how we're, you know, putting this into place. And the streaming numbers aren't too great when we do the conversions from cable TV to streaming. So it's also just interesting to also like realize that, but it also leaves space to like on like the perspective of like looking for the opportunity. It would be like, this is the time for like independent filmmakers, podcasters, people who, you know, don't really necessarily require a big network, don't necessarily require too much writing to produce their work because it's like, obviously the world needs it. Like, we're on strike, so it gives space and opportunity to like birth, you know, new forms of creativity because that's really all it is too, if you think about it. So yeah, it's just definitely interesting to see this unfold and take place. Cause like I said, historically, this hasn't happened since the 1960s. So it's just cool to see this happening because it also does show evolution with this society. I feel like when we do use our voices, when we do strike, when we do have conversations about how we could socially change things as a community, it makes things better. So, you know, I stand with the union. Even my family stand with the union, y'all. My uncle has a business and he was a vendor at the strike, which is really cool. Shout out to Munchie Dogs, who was passing out Munchie Dogs to the people who were striking. Shout out to the union. I stand with you, okay? As a creative, we're gonna get through this, okay? We're gonna get through. They're gonna give us our fucking things. We're gonna be able to go to the doctor. You're gonna be able to get a livable wage. Some shit's gotta change, and if it don't, they're gonna have to answer to somebody. Period. All right, y'all. So now we got to get into the neighborhood drip dealer segment. And this segment is the fashion segment. This is when we get into the looks. But I feel like this time, y'all, we have to kind of have a conversation. Because you guys know that, like, I'm a fashion girl. You guys know that I like to look good. I like to feel good. I like to dress good. Because it just adds to the experience of this fucking life that we live. I told y'all earlier, I like pretty shit. I like to look at shit and feel the aesthetic, feel the vibe. That comes naturally to me, right? And, you know, with that, I'm a good looking girl, okay? It's summertime. The niggas is outside. I'm outside. We're all outside. Looking good, feeling good, smelling good, dressing good, dripping good. Like, it's all just looking good, right? And sometimes the niggas be on my body, but sometimes the niggas be on my body a little bit too much in the sense of we got to get into the looks. So, you know, y'all, like, I'll go on a date or two. You know, I'll be outside because I'm single. I can do what I want, you know, and sometimes I've found in my experience of like dating, there have been guys that I've been personally dating because this is literally happening to me. I'm speaking from a term of like the Mooka Chanel existence. I've gone on dates with guys and there's been, you know, situations where like a guy will want to take me out on a date. Okay, cool. We could do that. And there have been guys that basically like, as I'm approaching the date, like they're telling me what to wear. Like there are niggas out here that are like taking me out, but they're also like telling me what to wear. And as a fashion girl, I don't know if I like that. Like, I don't know if I like niggas telling me what to wear. Like, because like as a fashion girl, it's like my brain goes so many ways, especially if you're not telling me the place that we're going for this date, right? Like if you're not telling me, I'm thinking anything. And sometimes my looks, it'd be too much of a look for maybe my look doesn't match the aesthetic of this place, or I may feel I don't really believe it'd be overdressed because you do what you want when you pop in. But y'all know what I'm saying. Like sometimes it's just like I could have had another fit. Like if he would have told me, I would have worn something like this. But then it also brings me to like this conversation that I've seen online where there was this thread on Twitter everything Twitter, y'all. I love Twitter. That's why it's so crazy to me that they're trying to like switch shit up over there. But basically, I seen this thread, and it was like a thread of celebrities, and it was like all these celebrity couples that we have seen before, and it was basically saying like, this is like basically like the women, the pictures that they chose, they were trying to communicate that like the woman started dressing differently once she was with the man. And it was like, and then it became this whole conversation of like, yeah, his swag is rubbing off on her. But then it like, once I saw that, it got me to thinking about like when I'm going to dates with like certain niggas. I'm not saying all the niggas are telling me what to wear, but there are certain men out there who are like telling me what to wear. And I feel like if there are men out there telling me what to wear, just date me. I definitely know there are like men out there that exist that are telling you literally like what to wear, like wear this, this, and that. And I don't know. I'm trying to like talk through it with y'all, like, cause let me know, like maybe I'm just like super like, nigga, you ain't telling me what the fuck, but like, you're not gonna tell me, especially if you're not buying my shit, like what to wear, like. And with certain niggas, so I'm not gonna lie, like, when I really be liking a nigga, like, I be liking him. That be my man. I be like, okay, like, maybe you can tell me what to wear. Maybe. Cause I'm the type of woman, like, you could tell me what to do, but you gotta be able to tell me what to do. Like, you can't just be telling me what to do because you think you're finna tell me what to do. Like, that's not happening. But I feel like if you're providing, you know, a feeling for me, a vibe, then I might listen to you. You know, I just might. But also, it's like, don't tell me we going to Bola Noche and then I get to Bola Noche and we go into fucking Lego World. Like this like we're not doing this, you know, like. And then also too, on the flip side of that, like aside from where you're taking me, it's just like this whole concept of like, I don't know, trying to like, but I don't know if it's that deep of like you're trying to control a person or it's just if you're trying to make suggestions. But I feel like I'm the type of girl, I don't need no help in the fashion department. Me personally, it's one thing if you want to add to the collection like a piece or there, but like I don't really think I need guidance from nobody telling me what to wear, you know. So it's just be interesting sometimes. What do y'all think? Like, y'all let me know. Like, are y'all the type of people where it's like you like, because there is this thing out there that exists in this conversation of like, oh, my nigga told me to get ready at 8, he told me to, you know, wear a sexy dress. Like, some women like that. I think, you know, sometimes that it's a vibe for some people. They like, you know, somebody setting the tone for them. But I guess for me, it'd be kind of like, that's where I kind of have fun with it. Like, I enjoy, this nigga don't know what I'm pulling up and he don't know what I'm finna give. He don't know nothing. He just know I'm finna be looking good. You know, like, I like that element of it. I don't like a nigga telling me, wear that red dress I like. Like, God. Because it just takes the fun out of it. Like, she just sat there in your fucking porch. Like, but I don't know. Y'all let me know, okay? Like, y'all let me know. We just getting into the conversation for the fashion seconds because, you know, it's drip. So, yeah. All right, y'all. So now we got to get into the music. We got to get into who's on Ox. And honestly, I really haven't been listening to that much music. I've really been in the vibe late. I mean, I'm always listening to music, but I get into this mode sometimes where like I listen to like the same old stuff, like my comfort songs. But there are some occasions where like a moment will pop up where I'm like, okay, I want to listen to some new shit and some new stuff, some new tracks. Some new tracks that I've definitely been bumping. Okay, y'all, this moment is it's like so nostalgic and so special. Basically, you guys, the OMG girls, they came together, you guys, to basically re-record and put out Loverboy. And if you're from my generation and my moment of like that whole era of life, you know this is a big deal. The girls are back. Vocally, they sound amazing. They sound amazing. When that track came out, I was just so excited to, number one, see them all together again in that way of being the OMG girls. And also to like finally get that song. Because growing up, when that leak moment happened and the choreography and the video and it just takes me back to a time in life where like I was literally living on the internet, like just finding music, just on there, like looking up keywords and things really popping up. You don't have to go through all these freaking algorithms of like paid artists who pay for this play. Like it was like pure distribution of just like independency and just finding cool music. So it just took me back. And I just love that like them coming together. It just gives me back that moment in time, and it just felt so special to like see them actually grow. And also too, the fact that like the song still stands for today's time. Like it's still like, that's how you know you made a timeless track. So I'm definitely bumping Loverboy by OMG Girls because I just love them. And I'm also bumping that new V's. Honestly, y'all, I cannot stop playing it. Like, my go-to songs right now are Not a Drill. This is not a fire drill, nigga. This is the real thing. Like, Not a Drill is definitely getting played. Sexy Liar is definitely getting played. G-A-I-G. G-A. It's a tongue twister, but basically Good As It Gets. Y'all know. That song is definitely getting played. Basically, it's getting played from top to bottom. But that's definitely a project that I'm enjoying. And another song that I've been like, I just recently got put onto this song, like literally like days ago, but it's been like living in my head a little bit. It is I Hate Home by, I think you pronounce her name Destiny, because she's one of those artists that's like not putting all of the vowels in the spelling of her name. It's D-S-T-N-I. And I'm getting Destiny. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But it's Destiny featuring Des Dior. And I love a good Des Dior. My opinion of Des Dior is not always, you know, the opinion across the others. Because sometimes I feel like when I bring her up, people are like, who? Are they like, you like her music? Like, you know, like, because at one point, I think people didn't know that she necessarily made music. So I just love to see her having her moment, and she's been eating. She's honestly, I like this. Like, she's a vibe. Like, the girls that get it, but I love that she's like doing more features and like, you know, playing around with her sound and like talking her shit. It's just a fun record. I feel like it's going to definitely like live in the summer as it begins to circulate, but that's just definitely something that I've been bumping and enjoying. And yeah, that's what's on Ox, y'all. So now we have to get into the self-care segment of the show. And honestly, this one ain't too complicated. It's just about taking that trip. I feel like it's nothing like a good vacation, nothing like a good reset that would just like put you in the mode of like, when it just gets too mundane, like just go somewhere else, change the setting. Y'all, I'm really excited. I have a trip coming up. I'm going to Dallas. I can't wait to go to Dallas because I just love the South. Like, I love the South. I just feel like it always gives me an energy that, like, my ancestors. Like, I love the South. Although I'm an LA girl through and through, like, the South just got a certain twang to it where it's just like, I'm supposed to be here, you know? Like, I'm supposed to be here. I feel it. I feel connected. But I'm going to Dallas for my cousin's 30th birthday. Like, I'm so excited. We're gonna have a time. But I'm bringing that up because it's like, you know, to me, that's self-care. Like, you know, packing up and kind of just like, you know, leaving. And also too, like, I know traveling isn't always, it doesn't always feel as accessible to us when we're like in certain areas of our life. And I've even talked about this on this show too, like about how I personally don't have my passport, and that's just something that like I need to get. I've just been putting it off. Like, I don't really have like a financial burden as to why I can't do it. It's just more so like I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and then I just don't get around to doing it. But I really do need to get around to doing it. But something interesting that I found out is that I found this out on TikTok. I found out that if you have EBT, you can get a free passport. Did y'all know that? Yeah, look into that. There's this program that somebody was talking about it. It's like basically it's a fee waiver program where like if you get certain assistance, you can get a free passport. So, you know, definitely check that out, y'all, because I definitely feel like traveling and changing your environment and seeing new places, that definitely like, you know, it just revives you in a certain way. Like even if you're not able to take a trip right now, at least like, you know, you can get that passport, because I don't even have a passport. I need to get my passport. But yeah, I just thought that was helpful to share. And yeah, that's a part of my self-care, getting the fuck on, taking that trip, because I love a good trip. Okay, y'all. So now we got to get into the tea time segment. And this is the time, you know, where we just spill our tea and we talk about it. Period. So this time it says, hey, Mooka, I love Shine Season and I have some tea to share. I love my current job. The pay is great. The office is a vibe. I have a good work-life balance. However, it's always a however, I work with a team of micromanagers. It's so bad that I've had coworkers actually come up to my desk and watch me to make sure my job gets done. It's so annoying. How would you handle this? Just quit the damn job. Just quit. Just leave the fucking job. Just leave. Just quit the job. No, I'm just kidding. That's the easy answer. I mean, it could be the hard answer too, honestly. Give you the hard answer. But how do you deal with micromanagers? Because micromanagement is like a real thing. Like, even just, it doesn't even necessarily have to be like a job. Like, you could have a micromanaging personality. And I think a big part of like working is like learning how to work with different types of people. Like, that's number one. I think that's really what work is about. Like, you're all here to make money, but you guys are all different in your own little ways, you know? So it's tough to deal with micromanaging, but I think the way that I try to deal with things is trying to understand why people are the way that they are, so that I can understand how to maneuver with them. And I think, at least from my experience, like dealing with micromanagers, those are just people who have an insecurity somewhere of like what they feel like they could control. Like, they may not be able to control like one dynamic of the job. So it's like, okay, let me at least try to like manage and control another aspect of the job, which sometimes is the team member. So in that scenario, I think for me is like definitely trying to understand why they are the way that they are, but also too, just like not really caring too much about work, because like micromanagers care too much. So it's like, how do you balance that out? You kind of have to start caring less. Like, you kind of have to be that person on the job where it's like, you're not like, if they're already overdoing it, if it's not your desire to overdo it, don't overdo it. Like, just kind of like have a lax approach to this situation, because it's like, they're already doing a lot, so why add more to it, you know? And also too, just going back to what I'm saying, definitely quit the job. Like, not quit the job, but like quit the job. But this whole concept of, I definitely think like our generation is a generation, I don't know how old you are, but like our generation is a type of generation where it's like, we're hopping from jobs. Like, you definitely stay to get your time in, to get your checks in. If you feel like you're in a situation, like you said, you love your job, you love the balance, you love the office, like you love certain things about it. So like, definitely try to take the good with the bad, but also like not care too much about it, because these jobs don't give a fuck about us. Like, if something was to happen to you, your replacement is on the line tomorrow. So it's like, keep that in your mind, because it's important just to like have, as a person who has a job, like, you just have to think about that, because it's just the reality of life. Like, these jobs do not care about you. Like, we just be a number to them. So don't think too hard about it. Like, just try your best to just, you know, maintain the coolness, because yeah, somebody got to retire one day. Shit. I hope that helped. Okay, guys, this was so much fun. I just want to thank you guys for watching, for being here with me, you know. Shine season to the top. You know, I just want to thank you guys. I love you guys. And yeah, we'll talk next episode.